Really? Just a second. I can't believe that. That's insane. No way. Just a second. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna have to call you back. I'll call you right back. I promise. Okay. Okay. Just a second. Okay. Okay. Bye. We all know someone who does that. That guy. You know, nose in the phone, attached to their face in the checkout line. If you're anything like me, drives you crazy. And for good reason. Relationships are founded on interaction, and part of interaction is eye contact. Now, we don't need to see someone to engage with them. But there's something to be said about that feeling of importance that it can bring us. And when you're met with just a sec, over and over, it's bound to have an impact. Aristotle said humans are fundamentally social in nature. And while social media or that phone call is often the catalyst for the nose in the phone behavior, it causes us to miss the person standing right in front of us. Subjective social variables such as social support come into play here, as feeling ignored is sure to have an impact on how cared you feel when your partner is across from you at dinner talking to somebody else. Relationships are important. There's even a link between them and well-being. We're talking about your health here, people. It's important. But simply having a relationship does not guarantee this. The quality of said relationship, that's important. Having a large network of good quality friendships is key. It can reduce stress and helps reinforce good social decisions, such as wearing your seatbelt. You're probably not going to notice that if your nose is in the phone. While the feeling of being ignored is hardly ostracism, it can have an implication on the quality of one's relationship. It's sure to impact the perceived social support we get from said friend. And frankly, it's just really rude, like my dog barking in the background. While that feeling, sorry. Now, we all know smartphones are super convenient. But we fail to consider that for some, it's actually really hard to put it down. Phone addiction is even recognized as a behavioral addiction to many parts of the world. So, what if it is an addiction? We aren't likely to label it, right? Like that requires a professional. But there are steps we can take to addressing the implications it has on your relationship. So, let's get started. What kind of relationship is being impacted here? Doesn't matter much. Whether it's a spouse, close coworker, good friend, maybe your mom. Be clear, those are very different types of relationships. But the solve is the same. First things first. You cannot force it. Nope. Believe me, I've tried. Never works. This is especially true for those with addiction. Don't try to force someone who has an addiction to change. It's not going to work, and it's not going to end well. The next thing to remember, will they cooperate? Now, you need to remember the important thing, you got to establish that friend, coworker, mom, spouse, they want to work towards a better relationship. All bets are off if they don't want to work with you. Or if that person across from you isn't in your good graces. You can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make it drink. The best you can do is continue to next step, but acknowledge it's not going to be a quick solve here if there's really no cooperation. But give it a try anyway. It's always worth a try. Then there's a call to communicate. That's the most important part, right? It's common misconception that other people know what you're thinking. Let's test it. I'm thinking of a number. Sorry, that's wrong. I was actually thinking of my mom's home phone. See what I mean? You probably just listed off an arbitrary number between like 1 and 100. It's not what I meant. All jokes aside, people's brains work differently, and it's impossible to read minds. And in the case of addiction, it's hard to see the forest through the trees. Communication is built on trust, and you've got to get on the same page as the people in your life, right? Like you need to do that. You need to communicate. It's important. Trust is key too. You know, you need trust in your relationship, and communication, part of trust, but that's a whole other video for a whole other day. So back to communication. You need to speak up, and not in a way that's going to be insultive or make someone get defensive. No, my friend, you need to share how it makes you feel. Don't imply that they're adulting wrong or point out the action that they need to take. Follow an I feel statement. So, something like, I feel frustrated when you are always on your phone because it makes me feel alone and I need a little more attention sometimes. You know, with this open line of communication, it'll hopefully encourage your chronic phone user to respond in some capacity. Then you can start working on a way to cooperate for a solution. Maybe you can find a designated time where you get that attention, like no phones at the table during dinner. Whatever it may be, together you can commit to some sort of agreement that works for everyone and strengthens that relationship right up for you. Should the cause turn out to be addiction, because it's a very real possibility, don't forget to offer your support. See if there's anything you can do as they work through the channels of getting help, and just be there for them. So, good luck.